Good morning, agents. It's Dan Bouchard Fernandez, and we are here today for the Maryland February 2026 required broker training. And this is a reminder that like always, we have a monthly required training topic that we have to discuss with our agents, and it's an obligation of agents to participate in the in this training as per the Maryland Real Estate Commission, as per DC Real Estate Commission, as per Virginia Real Estate Commission, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So they all have their requirements that we do this. And so we are just doing this as a reminder to be in compliance. And this is one of those situations where, it's not a problem until it's a problem. So if you could skate through life, for quite a long time, not coming to broker trainings, and then we cover a topic, to protect you, and lo and behold, at some point you get caught up in some kind of problem with the real estate commission, and then they'll go back looking through the records and see if you had participated with the training. So, and then if you haven't participated in the training, then they could use that against you in any kind of complaint that they have. So better to be safe than sorry. And we can, so that's kind of just what I'm going to go ahead and put out right there. So the provided document is an opinion and final order from the Maryland Real Estate Commission regarding a disciplinary case against real estate salesperson Susan Robertson, case number yada, yada, yada. The violation: Mrs. Robertson applied to renew her license in May of 2022, claiming she had completed her required continuing education CE. A subsequent random audit revealed she had completed none of the 15 required credit hours for the 2022 period and had also failed to complete 3 hours for the 2020 period. Detailed evidence. So the false claim. On May 9th, 2022, Ms. Robertson explicitly answered yes to the online renewal question. Have you completed the CE courses required since your last renewal? The audit trail: after the license was renewed, based on that yes answer, she was randomly selected for a continuing education audit. This audit proved she had 0 hours of the mandated 15 hours for 2022 and was also missing 3 hours from 2020. Lack of communication. The commission found that Ms. Robertson failed to respond to their initial correspondence regarding these allegations and failed to notify them when she changed brokerages. So those things kind of compounded, her original mistake. The commission's rebuttal of the defense. Ms. Robertson offered several explanations that the commission ultimately rejected or found insufficient. She claimed that her broker handled the renewal for her and she didn't know how it happened. The commission ruled this irrelevant, stating that it is the licensee's sole responsibility to manage their license and know the renewal process. The deceit factor. While the commission's presenter, Hope Sachs, noted that Mrs. Robertson wasn't necessarily trying to be deceitful, the commission emphasized that the continuing education is bedrock to their mission to protect the public from financial and personal risk to the consumer. The final decision: the commission concluded that Ms. Robertson violated the code while acknowledging her lack of prior disciplinary history and her good faith in admitting the error. The commission ordered the following on August 30th, 2024. So it took 2 years for this to really get to completion. So it's not uncommon for the Maryland Real Estate Commission to really allow to get these things vetted out and sourced out before we see these final results. They upheld the charges. The disciplinary charges were officially upheld. There was a civil penalty to Ms. Robertson of $3,200. Her license was suspended until such time as she paid the $3,200 fine. What was used to calculate her fine was the seriousness of the violation, because CE is mandated by the General Assembly, otherwise known as the legislature, to keep licensees updated on laws and consumer protections. No specific harm to a consumer was cited, which helped prevent a higher fine. Ms. Robertson received credit for admitting her failure during testimony rather than continuing to deny it. Because she had no prior disciplinary record, the commission decided against the maximum $5,000 per violation fine. So the order became immediate. Her license was suspended. She had to pay the $3,200, and presumably she had paid it, or she continues to be no longer licensed. So the doctrine of personal liability, it's a non-delegable duty. The licensee is solely responsible for their license renewal and status. Relying on a broker or administrative staff to handle renewals does not exempt a salesperson from legal accountability if requirements are missed. Claiming ignorance of how to update the brokerage information or how to use the online renewal portal is not a valid legal defense. Accuracy and attestation. The click wrap trap. Answering yes to completing continuing education requirements when they are not yet finished is considered a violation, even if the licensee intends to complete them later. The MREC conducts random audits after renewals are processed, and discrepancies found during these audits can lead to immediate charges of making false statements to the commission. So the Real Estate Commission is focused primarily on public safety, and the factor of cumulative violations also contributes to these fines. So be honest and don't be deceitful with the Real Estate Commission. Respond promptly when notified that you have a case before the Real Estate Commission, and that will keep us all out of Realtor Jail. Anybody have any thoughts or comments on this? Thank you for joining it. Shafiq, did you have something?
Yeah. Wouldn't she have to have done the courses, the C credits before she could get relicensed?
Probably, yes.
Because
Yeah.
it doesn't say that, it just says the fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably was an accidental omission. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us this morning. Let's hit the streets and go make some money. I'll go ahead and stop the recording, but if anybody wants to talk about something else, we can certainly do that. I will stop my recording right now.